Well, thank you for having me, Crystal. Oh my God, where should I start? I guess I could just start with what led me here, right? I'm in my 30s, but I think since I was just like a little girl, I always just associated like being thin with restriction. And then naturally, like if I was stressed out, I was just a non-eater. So like you could not get me to be an emotional eater if you tried. Like I was just starve myself. And that worked for really a long time. And then as I got a little bit older, like high school into college, I had like this love for fitness. I still have a love for fitness, but it just made sense to like do all these workouts and like eat very little. And again, like that's what kind of kept me thin. But I wasn't nourishing my body. And I think I just kind of flew under the radar and people just always thought I ate healthy until I got where I am now and I'm older, I'm a mom, on the cusp of all the perimenopause symptoms. And I had everything just kind of going crazy at once, like my mental health, my physical health, like my everything, like nutrition was a mess. I had gone to the doctors and I knew I was hitting perimenopause based on like all the classic symptoms, right? Like the hot flashes in the middle of the night. Like I was so fatigued. Like I was just so tired living. Like I would wake up exhausted and the brain fog, like it was out of control. Like I just could not put words in a sentence together. I would get random headaches, like all the things that I was like, what is happening to my body? And I was gaining weight. And I was like, oh no. So the doctors didn't know what to do. They were just like, yeah, this is probably what it is, but like, what do you want us to do about it? Like, they gave me a paper that just basically said, eat healthy, work out. And I'm like, I work out all the time. So I just kicked it up. And so I just decided, okay, like, I'll do like 2-a-day workouts. And I was getting up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, like because I'd wake up in like this hot flash and I'd be like, well, I'm already awake, so might as well start the first workout. And then I would just like starve myself. Like I think I was down to about like one meal a day. Like some days I could go without eating at all. And my body was so inflamed. And throughout everything I was doing, right? Like working on my mental health, the biggest thing I was discussing with my therapist was self-love. And I just came to a point where I was like, how can I say I love myself if I'm doing this to my body? Like that's in essence a contradiction. That is not self-love. And I have two little girls that look up to me. Like, what am I showing them? Like they're gonna hear my words, but they're not gonna learn from that. They're gonna follow my footsteps and whatever actions I'm doing. And I don't want them to feel like this is how life feels when you're an adult struggling like with your family and just life in general. So I knew at the end of the day that all of my fitness, I knew it wasn't for nothing, but I was looking in the mirror and I remember distinctly saying to myself, like, this is not fitness. This is not like lack of trying. This is simply my nutrition. And I was like, I have to get control of this. And that's when like me and you had been, social media friends for a little while. So it just so happened you had a post that came up and I was like, you know what? Like, let me give it a try. And I honestly feel like the biggest shift in all of this has obviously been my mindset, right? Because you've taught me and you've shown me, you've proven to me that eating more and I'm losing weight. But I do think that what helped me shift to like that freedom and balance was finding you and having a health coach because it really is like having somebody hold your hand through it. Like we started very slow baby steps, just kind of looking at the pantry. Like you already knew I had a good routine. I'm up every day at 4:45. I'm getting those workouts in. That is not a problem. And I remember saying to you when we started the calorie deficit, like I was like, this is where I thrive. Like, tell me not to eat and I won't. And like that went on for like a couple of weeks. And you were like, Megan, like you have to eat. And I was like, oh, no, no, no. Like, I am well beyond, like, well underneath my calories. Like, I am doing good. And you were like, no, like, you got to eat a little bit more. And I was so fearful. But it was having you, like, you were monitoring what I was doing every day. It was good because I remember you saying to me, hey, if you gain a pound, like, hey, you know what? We'll adjust the program. Like, we'll fix it. But that never happened. Like I just kept going down and down and down and down. And I was like, oh my God. And you kept having me eat more and more and more. And I'm like, from years of starving myself, I remember telling you, like, I was like, oh, I'm feeling hungry. Like my body had stopped giving myself hunger cues a long time ago, like probably before I even hit my 20s. So just even feeling like, oh, I'm hungry was like a new experience for me, which sounds freaking like outlandish, really, right? But that's what restricting yourself does to yourself.
Right.
And, I'm so happy that you decided to do this holiday masterclass because the holidays in particular were just such an overwhelming, triggering time because I would do that and I wouldn't eat all morning, right? I'd save it for that Thanksgiving, even though that Thanksgiving meal that everybody always posts, it's this huge plate filled with food. I would feel such crap afterwards. Like it was just such a heavy feeling, and I hate feeling that way to begin with. And it doesn't just end on that night. You wake up the next day and you're like, I feel like I got ran over by a truck. And then you continue the restriction because you're like, oh my God, I just ate so much. So I'm going to do all these crazy workouts and I'm going to restrict myself. And like for me, I'm Italian. So all of December is Christmas. Every single weekend, I'm hosting people. It's in laws, it's my immediate family, it's extended family, it's friends. Like we're doing parties and get togethers the entire month long. So it's just a yo yo of up and down,
Yeah.
up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
yeah, and now going through this program, like you've really shown me that like one day is not, and particularly one meal is not going to kill you at all if you're doing it right all around that. So like you don't have to do these like crazy workouts because it's the holidays. Just stay consistent. It's consistency that wins. The photo on the left, I mean, it's like, oh my God, I hate that. But honestly, I mean, you had me hooked in that first week because that stomach and like around the hip area, that was actually majority inflammation, which I kind of had figured my body was probably inflamed through all the research I was reading. But I remember when we were cleaning out the cabinet and I had showed you, it was the protein powder. I had showed you the protein powder. My husband's an athlete, so that's always been his jam. And I'm like, you know how to filter it out, you know what to look for. But at the end of the day, yes, he's an athlete, he's not a nutritionist. And I remember showing it to you, and you were like, well, it's not the worst I've seen, but there are some chemicals in here that are just no good. And once we switched the protein powder, I remember telling you my stomach went completely down. And I was like, wait a minute. And I mean, I'm talking like even in my thinnest during my 20s, I was still having like probably not the same brand of protein powder, but protein powders with those kinds of chemicals, definitely not as clean as I am now. And I always had like that little like mom pooch on like the bottom part of your stomach. And even though I had great abs, like I looked pretty good, like, but I could just never get it down. And you hit a certain wall, I think, as just women, and you just think to yourself, okay, this is it. Like, this is just how I'm going to look. And even when I really did look great at, like in my 20s, like I knew like that I looked great in comparison to everybody my age, especially like after I had kids, and that was wonderful. But that wasn't me. That wasn't my best. Like everybody's best looks different. And so, just switching that protein powder, saw the drastic change. And that's when I was like, okay, like she's got me. I'm hooked. She's got my attention now. And that's honestly what helped me build the trust because I
Yeah.
took that little baby step. We said, okay, let's look at these ingredients. Let's try there. And because it was such literally a game changer overnight, I was like, whoa. And I knew Oh, I'm very confident because it's a total lifestyle change. One of the things I had wanted to touch upon with you for everybody out there listening is how counterintuitive it feels to put yourself first, right? Especially as moms, we think like, okay, we got to put our kids first, we got to put our husbands, we've got parents that, are older and need us. We put, especially as women, we're just taught by society to put everybody else before yourself. And you think like, how I can't do this for myself because everybody else needs me. But I'll tell you, like, I know a couple of people that have followed my path since I started. And it really is true that, like, once you start putting yourself first, like, life gets good. I don't know how to explain that, but it just does. Like, things fall into place, like, the blessings come. So, life has, and it's never going to be perfect. You're always going to have struggles. There's always going to be hurdles in the road, but you just feel it differently. Like I am so happy. Like I am so confident. I am so happy. I feel so strong. Like, and it's like nothing can rattle that. And it just feels powerful. Like it's so empowering. And that's all I need to know to be like, this is a forever thing because I don't want to lose that. Like, why would I want to lose myself again? Like I don't. Like I have found the girl that I lost 20 years ago and we've hit the ground running. So